To generate a class roster to take roll, you need go to the Fort Bliss training, the Fort Bliss Schools title page and scroll to your School Manager Actions window, depending on which school you belong to and of which school you are the manager. There will be a link that says Generate a Class Roster. Click the link. Click Open to open the form, and you will see the form begin to open on your computer. Notice the opening banner reads that it is pulling this form and all of its location from the Fort Bliss Schools portal website. Allow the form to load completely and then begin filling it out. You'll notice in the upper left-hand corner that the school that you belong to can't be edited. This is to preserve the privacy of those soldiers who have enrolled in classes belonging to other schools. If you are a Fort Bliss Schools administrator, this appears as a drop-down and you can select which school you wish to view. Next, you'll choose the course name, for example, the DTMS Master Trainer course, and the course number is auto-populated. You'll select a class number. In this case, we're going to select fiscal year 14's 001 class, which starts on the 29th and ends October 3rd. As we scroll down, we notice that there are no approved enrollments for this class as yet. However, when we open up other requests, we see that we have received 9 request forms. These request forms are all tests, and the Social Security numbers are random. So the way this system works, go onto the schools page for your school. This form is for the Gooding Instructional Facility. So under the Gooding Instructional Facility Troop School Manager Actions window, we will go to the View All Requests for Enrollment from Units and update their status. That link takes us to the administration page where we see the actual forms that have appeared to us on the Fort Bliss Schools class roster. These forms are tests and were submitted by me to demonstrate the capability. Each of these first 9 are for the same class. That's the class that we're looking at on the left-hand side of the screen. The lower 10th request is for a different class, and this is to show how the form will only query those enrollment requests that match this class number. As we look at the enrollment status for these requests, we notice that they are all request received. That is the default setting when a new request arrives in the enrollment tracker. It is automatically given the enrollment status request received. The first thing that the school manager will want to do is place these students either on a wait list, place their status as request held if there is an issue with their request, such as there is no DTMS accompanying request, or if the unit cancels, the cancellation will be listed here. Never delete a form unless it is an absolutely worthless form. You want to leave every form in so that every request you get counts towards your numbers. So now I've updated the 9 of these students that are enrolled in Fort Bliss class TS06-1401. I go back to my class roster form and scroll down and notice there is a link that says Submit Report to G3 Training. Inside this window is a button that refreshes the data. The form will then display what is current in the administrative tracker. For example, 3 on the wait list, 3 requests held, and 3 canceled by the unit. The next thing we'll do is demonstrate what it looks like when a request is approved. These requests will be approved. This soldier will be listed as a no-show, and these soldiers as drops. The next thing we want to do before we print this roster is make sure that the The personnel who are approved to attend the class, for example, privates, Alpha Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo Foxtrot, Golf, Hotel, we will update their status to approved, which indicates that they are secure in the seat and will be marked present on day one. That is the step we need in order to ensure that the soldiers are on the roster. The next thing we'll do is use the refresh data button to generate the actual roster. So now you'll notice that the data has updated and there are 8 total requests pending improvement and 1 that was canceled. To print this out, you do not need to include the additional requests. Right-click the orange arrow and click Remove Requests Received to take that screen out of the printed version. You also don't need, when you create a roster, to have the submission area. That's just to clean up the roster. Here there is also an area for you to type in the instructors. Once you're ready, you print the document, hand it to the instructor to take roll. There is an area down below to write in walk-ins, etc., and it shows all the requests that were received for personnel that have been put onto the wait list. There's an area for signatures, and this information can also be used to populate their training certificate. Note that this document is not fillable in terms of the information that goes into these fields. It's pulled directly from the enrollment status tracker here on the admin tracker page in the portal. In order to add a soldier or civilian to this roster, that soldier must submit a DA 4187 through the system to appear in the system. Enforce this rule by withholding training certificates until the unit follows through with an official request, because this official request is how G3 training will track attendance that has been at your school. For example, Alpha was a no-show, Bravo completed the class, Charlie and Delta completed the class, this Echo was a drop, as was Fox, and the remainder completed the class. That final assessment of those soldiers will appear once more on this report when you've refreshed the data. Notice all the personnel have moved from approved enrollments and are now listed under no-show, drops, and completed. This number, 6 total trained, translates to a reportable number that will be submitted to G3 training. This means that if a soldier attends your class but does not submit a proper enrollment request, your school will not get credit for training that soldier.